מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. יאי לי 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 לי, ידה לי 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 לי, יאי לי לי לי, יאי לי לי לי, יאי לי לי, יאי לי לי לי, יאי לי 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 לי. Shabbat Shalom. We invite you to welcome Shabbat, to leave behind whatever you were doing until the very moment that you walk in, and to connect with the celebration of time, to walk into Shabbat, into the palace. Okay, they will take care of that. Thank you very much.
You are?
And to walk into the palace on time.
That's it? Okay. We need to give it
We will start our Shabbat service lighting Shabbat candles on page 120. I'd like to invite Stephanie Velasco and Caroline. Toby.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness,
Help us to find knowledge by which we to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts.
Let's light Shabbat
May our
candles.
worship lead us to the acts of kindness.
Peace and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
אשר קידשנו במצוותיו.
na'asher Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's not too long.
It's a miracle.
Sometimes the Shabbat candles remind us that even the celebration of time, even the things that seem to be very simple, they sometimes are not so simple. Things that seem to be obvious in our lives, they are not so obvious. And they seem to be a joke. But dedicating time to celebrate time is a serious business. Dedicating time to recognize the spirit of Shabbat and to feel the love that Shabbat brings to our lives is a serious business. And when we try to perceive that love is when we can say, Ani ledodi bedodi li, I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. Please join us on top of page 129. Shanim dodili misot ola minamidbar misot ola minamidbar. In Shabbat, we go to the encounter with the divine. We open our hearts to the seventh day with joy. Lechun eranena la'Adonai on page 130.
לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו, נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע מקדשו, ילאי, לי, 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 יאי, לי, 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 ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים, ולא ידו שדי, וכל אשר בו שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום.
And we like to say that if you don't say that, it doesn't happen. Shabbat Shalom. Say it and bring it. Shabbat Shalom. 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 In Shabbat we dedicate time and focus to recognize the sounds of our existence. We try to integrate, we try to embrace them, all of them together, and transform them into a song. Samru la Adonai Bechinor, on page 134.
Samru Adonai Bechinor, Bechinor, Bekol Zimra, Bachatzot Ra, Bekol Shofar, Ariyo, Nifnei HaMelech Adonai. יחד הרים ירננו לפני אדוני קרבה לשפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים במישרים
Page 138. We welcome Shabbat presence as a bride. We think here activity, the first, the second, the fifth, the sixth, and the ninth verses of Lecha Dodi.
Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 penei Shabbat, penei Shabbat nekabela ya la. Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 penei Shabbat,
לקרב אליי, אליי, אליי.
שמוי וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשמו תפארת ולתהילה. יאי לי לי, יאללה לה לה לי לך אדוני, יאללה לה לה לי לקראת כלה, יאללה לה לה לי פני שבת, פני שבת לקרב אליי, יאי לי יאללה לה 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 לך אדוני, יאללה לה 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 לקראת כלה, יאללה לה 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 פני שבת, פני שבת לקרב אליי, אליי, אליי. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. יאי לי לי יאללה לה 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 לך אדוני, יאללה לה 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 לקראת כלה, יאללה לה 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 פני שבת, פני שבת לקרב אליי, יאי לי יאללה לה 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 לך אדוני, יאללה לה 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 לקראת כלה, יאללה לה 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 פני שבת, פני שבת לקרב אליי, 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 יאי, אליי, 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 יאי, אליי, 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 יאי, אליי, 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 לקראת כלה, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, פני שבת נקרבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, פני שבת נקרבלה. איי, 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 התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. דודי לקראת כלה, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, פני שבת נקרבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, יאללה לי, פני שבת נקרבלה. איי, 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 לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתכחי ומה תהמי, בך יחסו
לקראת סקאלה, יאללה, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת סקאלה, יאללה, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. היי, 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 בואי בשלום. Come in peace. עטרת בעלה, beautiful bride. גם בשמחה ובצהלה, אוי אוי, תוך אמוני הסגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך דודי לקראת סקאלה, יאללה, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת סקאלה, יאללה, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. And now that we have welcomed Shabbat, we invite you to welcome each other, to turn to the person that is sitting next to you and to say Shabbat Shalom. And even if the person is not sitting next to you, you can move, you can go, and you can say Good Shabbos. Play you were playing before. I say Good Shabbos. Shabbos, Shabbos. So I have no sensitivity? Shabbos. Good Shabbos. That was funny. That fun. Shabbat Shalom. We say already. Say again. It's nice to have you here. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Very serious Shabbat. Put your hand, come on. Like, Shabbat. He's not sure he was. Let's do it again, but faster. Oh, that way. Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And now that we have welcomed each other and we have welcomed Shabbat, we grant to Shabbat, we dedicate to Shabbat a wonderful song, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, on page 140.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחילון. צדיק כתמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו. להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא הבלעת בו.
On page 144, we separate between Kabbalat Shabbat and the service of Arbitral Shabbat, and we start to get ready for the recitation of the Shema on page 144, Chetzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ועמד יברח ירתה וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דרכו בית ישראל. לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי קודשא בריחו לילה מן כה ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
On page 146, please rise for Baruch Hu. Let's open our mouths and voices in blessing. Yeah.
Lai lai la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai lai ya la lai 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 la la lai ya la lai 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 la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai lai ya la lai 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 la la lai ya la lai. Et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Ba'ed Lai lai la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai lai ya la lai 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 la la lai ya la lai hai lai la 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 lai lai hai ya la 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 lai lai ya la lai 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 ya la lai ya lai la lai.
You may be seated. We're on page 148. Let's read together in English. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe,
who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim.
I'm trying to focus in a deep love and to perceive the deep love of the creation while getting ready for the Shema on page 150, Avat Olam.
Avat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Otanu Lemor. חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת. כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם בלילה.
באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמין. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. We invite you for a couple of seconds to close your eyes. And to let the music to help you find some inner silence. Try to listen for a couple of seconds to your inner voice. To listen, Shema. We usually run so much. But listening isn't so easy. Try to picture a landscape that makes you feel loved. Sit well in your chair and try to relax your body. Try to become aware of your breath. And breathe. Try to connect your neshama, your soul, with your neshima, your breath. Take a deep breath and become one. Shema. Israel, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad. We're on page 154. Let's chant together.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרת להיות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמן
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת, אמת באמון הכל, סוד וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. We continue with the silent reading over page 156. When your children witness your presence, they praise your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moshe, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices with joy. Who is like you, O God? Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, on page 158. מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף פלא, נורא תהילות אוסף פלא, אלי מלכותך רעובנך, הוגה ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, אוי זה אלינו ואמרו, מלכותך רעובנך, הוגה ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, אוי זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר כיפת אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חסג ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. On page 160, after the blessing for redemption, in which we remember that we are always invited to face the obstacles in our lives with courage. We try to focus now in our inner peace. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom. We ask God to grant us with peace, on page 160. We start with the alternative version in English. One day, and then Ashkivenu. And it is in the song sheets. I'm completely out of the blue now. It was me. So one day we'll have peace, inner peace.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will pay one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'avidenu shomrei, nu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'avidenu shomrei, nu lechaim, ufros aleinu. Sukat shlomecha, ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will pay one day, 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 one
אתה אדוני, הפועל סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. Blessed are you, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem, the holy city.
One day, one day, one day.
Before Tfilat Amidah in Shabbat, we remember our trans-generational covenant to keep Shabbat as a part of our lives, to give importance to the seventh day, and to celebrate time. On page 162, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. Shabbat va'ir nafash. Yai, rai, rai, yai, rai, rai, yai, rai, 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 yai, rai, 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 yai, rai, rai, yai, rai, 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 yai, rai, 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 yai, la, la, lai, 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 lai.
On page 164, please rise for Tfilat Amidah. We invite you to follow the words of our tradition, but we also invite you to try to find the words of your heart to do what we call Tfilah Shebalev, the prayer of the heart, the words that you have tried to say the entire week and you didn't find. This is the moment to open your heart and your mouth in prayer. We're on page 164. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. And after trying to find a space for our own desires, for our own requests, now we ask for the capability to meet each other, to go to the encounter with each other in peace. Oseh Shalom on page 180.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu. Uyaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom.
שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם, עושה שלום במרומיו. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, עושה שלום במרומיו. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, עושה שלום במרומיו. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. And at this point of our service, we dedicate a prayer, we dedicate a thought. We try to channel our energies for those that are dealing with illness in their bodies, in their souls, those dealing with addictions. If you have a name that you'd like to share, we raise our voices and our hearts for Misha Berach on page 371.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekol habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We wish to all of them a complete and fast recovery, החלמה מלאה and רפואה שלמה. Amen. Let me see this. Good Shabbos. So every time that we have a Shabbat dinner in the congregation, I am told, say whatever you want, just make sure it's short. I'll try. but that's a good reason to write the sermon. So let's say, for those that have hearing disabilities or some hearing problems, we have a couple of copies here. If you want to. So light up, let's pass them very quietly. So the rabbis ask, let's do it very quietly. Very quiet. Quiet. That's good. So the rabbis ask in the Pesikta, the Rabbi Kahana, why Pesikta Rabbi Kahana is in Aramaic? Okay, don't worry if you didn't understand. It's just the name of a book. No, it sounds very serious, but it's a book. It's just a book. Why was the Torah given in the desert? And they answered, to teach us that if a person does not surrender himself to it, to the Torah, like the desert, he cannot merit the words of Torah. And to teach us that just as the desert is endless, so is the Torah without end. This week, we are starting to read the book of Numbers. The reason this book got its name is because there are lots of numbers in it. It's just right. And as a matter of fact, you can also find 2 demographic censuses in this specific book. One right away at the beginning. So tomorrow, during our Torah reading, we'll talk about numbers. Today, I would like to focus on the Hebrew name that was given to this book. This is the book of Bamidbar, in the wilderness, or in the desert. In the desert. And I would like to invite you to explore the connection between 3 elements. Midbar means, say it, desert. Kabbalat Torah, receiving the Torah. Some of you haven't written, so you have some advantage. And number 3 is Haaretz Hamuvtachat, the promised land. Desert, Midbar, receiving the Torah, Kabbalat Torah, and Haaretz Hamuvtachat, the promised land. So it is well known that Kabbalat Torah, receiving the Torah, is an obligatory step in order to get into the promised land. What we might miss is that the desert is also a preliminary and obligatory step in order not to get to a promised land, in order to start by receiving Torah. And you know, the desert doesn't always look like a resort in Palm Springs. You know, the desert can be a very scary place. There's no water or food. The weather is hostile, and the landscape makes it even more complicated for navigation. After some time there, people could have hallucinations or even violent reactions. Torah recognizes the hostility of the desert, but also presents it as a place of opportunity. In Exodus 3:4, we meet the Be'asne e'enenu ukal. And when God saw that he turned aside to see, Elohim called out unto him, and of the midst of the bush, bush or bush? Bush, right? And said, Moshe, Moshe. And Moshe said, Hineni, here I am. God's revelation to Moses took place in the desert. And that's not a mere coincidence. Emptiness is a great tool for spiritual work. And the desert is filled with emptiness. In his book, Meditation and the Bible, Rabbi Aryeh Kaplan speaks about the desert as the place that allows us to do itbodedut, the isolation required in order to practice meditation. In other words, when we are too filled with ourselves, there's not space for anything else. Receiving the Torah requires some emptiness. We need to free some space in order to receive Torah. But there is a second level to this equation, and it's that these three steps aren't linear. The sequence isn't we empty ourselves, so we go to the desert, we get some inspiration, so we receive the Torah, and then eventually we make it into the promised land. It's not so easy. It's not so easy. Because that would be very mathematical. It would be a very mathematical approach to life. And we know that in life, 1 + 1, it isn't necessarily 2. In my case, from 1 and 1, we ended up being 5. So we do know that. The promised land isn't a status. It rather might be a moment, a second. How many times have you felt that you were touching heaven with your own hands, and maybe a few minutes afterwards, you found yourself in the middle of the desert? The truth is that our individual, congregational, and even national aspirations change with the time. Our dreams change. The idea of what is the promised land changes as well. We need the honesty and the courage to renew our dreams, because otherwise we might be in the situation in which we say that we are in the promised land, when the reality of what we feel is that we are in the most hostile desert. Being lost in the desert can be a tragedy, but walking in the desert with purpose can be a life-changing experience. The challenge, then, would be to embrace the desert, to recognize the opportunity for emptiness, for meditation, for spiritual work, in order to open our hearts and to walk again and again and again toward the promised land. As the holiday of Shabbat arrives, we are blessed with the opportunity to recognize and embrace our internal desert. May we allow ourselves the required emptiness in order to receive Torah. And may we be inspired to walk with faith toward our dreams. Shabbat Shalom. We continue our service on page 586 with Aleinu Leshabeach.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גאולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויים כמונו, כמשפחות האדמה. שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומורים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו, ושכינתו זו, וגובי ורומים, הוא אלוהינו אלוהות, אמת מלכנו, אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבועות האלה לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ ועל הארץ מתחת עינות.
ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ונאמן והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. And today we are counting the Omer for the last time this year in Friday night services. So if you haven't counted the Omer yet, and you want to be part of a public, raise your hand. Mark, have you counted the Omer? Often? Are you sure? Okay. So Bryce, come on. You have bar mitzvah. You have bar mitzvah next week. We should do it. So we're gonna count the Omer. The only problem that I have, Bryce, is that I never remember. I think 520 something. How much? 570. I think it changes every week. So we are basically counting the Omer. So I gave you a couple of letters in Hebrew. You repeat them. And every time I point something, you read it. And that's how it works. It's fine. So don't worry. So we start singing this. Inneni mukhanum zoman, inneni mukhanum zoman, inneni mukhanum zoman, v'kayem mitzvah taseh, aseh, inneni mukhanum zoman, inneni mukhanum zoman, inneni mukhanum zoman, לקיים מצוות עשה. It goes higher now. כמו שכתוב בתורה, it's not written, הנני מוכן ונזומן, they cut it. כמו שכתוב בתורה, הנני מוכן ונזומן.
I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of coming to the Omer.
ברוך אתה אדוני, we say together,
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר
קדשנו במצוותיו, וציוונו על ספירת העומר.
Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all,
Sorry.
who has hollows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer.
Now is the complicated part. So I say here, you repeat. Okay, we're gonna say how many days of the Omer we are counting this week, do you know? You are very well educated. And how do you say that in Hebrew? I think, Noga, tell me if I'm wrong. Mem Bav Yamim, okay. I never get them right, so. Ayom, say.
Hayom,
Mem Bav
Membav,
Yamim
Yamim,
She'em
She'em,
Shesh
Shesh,
Shavuot
Shavuot,
Arba
Arba,
Yamim
Yamim,
LaOmer.
Layomer,
LaOmer.
Laomer.
Perfect. Now in English. Today is come on, you know that.
Today is the day.
The 46th,
Today is the 46th day,
which is
6
6
weeks
And 4 days.
and 4 days
to
of,
the Omer.
of the Omer.
Good. You did it. Next week is coming up to the Torah. So we invite all of you to be here for Friday night and Saturday morning services to support and to celebrate his bar mitzvah. We are very glad and very proud. Elai, 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 and as we celebrate life, we also, as a part of our services, we recognize also the empty places that we have in our lives. And we dedicate a sort of prayer for those dear souls of our congregation that are being missed today.
Stephen Hartman, Ruth Liboff, Lena Silver, Lillian Sussman, Elfrida Levy, Lil Chin, Ben Margot, Rabbi Chaim Asa, Lillian Ackerman, Sigmund Silver, Joe Zussman, Flora Romaine, Ruth Elliott, Ida Goodfriend, Natalie Maines, Gertrude Margulis, Irving Brown, Claudia Fain, and in the Shloshim, the first 30 days, Scott Talento, son of Barbara Talento, Evelyn Glick, friend of Lynette Northcutt, Rita Stromberg, aunt of Ann Kalin, Deborah McDonald Selkowitz, sister of Joan Filowitz, and we also remember the innocent victims in Manchester, England, and the Coptic Christians in Egypt.
If you are during the first 7 days of mourning, Shiva, please rise. If you are during the first 30 days of mourning, Shloishim, please rise. If you are during the first year of mourning, please rise. If you observe a Yortzeit this week, please rise. Now you can support our fellows, joining us with your voices and your hearts for Mourners Kaddish on page 598. Itgadal beitkadash sheme rava, be'alma divra chilute, be'amlich malchute, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, באמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דעה אמירם בעלמה, באמרו אמן. יאש למה רבה מן שמיה, בחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, באמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, באמרו אמן. May their memories be for a blessing. Zichronam lebracha. You may be seated. So we just like to remind you three important things, four important things. So number one, the next Tuesday is the celebration of Shabbat. It's an important holiday. We will be celebrating, we will be eating well here at TBT, we will study Torah. Our children will be here. I think they're making flower arrangements for the synagogue. We have high expectations, Natalie. And now everybody knows. Everybody. And in Shavuot, we remember that Torah was given to the Jewish people, that Torah was given to us. And we also remember the responsibility of carrying Torah. And on that same opportunity, we will be installing our new board of directors. So it's an additional celebration to the celebration of Shavuot. So please join us Wednesday morning at 8 a.m., right? 8 a.m. We are going to do a Shacharit Minyan. The Shacharit Minyan is going to be in the library. We'll do short service, some Torah study, and Iskor service. So if you need or you like to say Iskor, please join us. And if you want to celebrate the holiday and to study the book of Ruth, of course, join us as well. Next Friday, we have family services. Bryce is going to come up to the Torah Saturday morning. And in addition, we will address a blessing for our pioneers, those that are going to Israel with us. We have a delegation of 21 members of TBT going to Israel. Now, they are going different dates, so we won't have all of them here next week, but some of us will be there, here. Some of them will be there already. And some of us will be here, but we will meet on Wednesday, the week afterwards, in the airport, and we will start our mission and our trip and our journey, and we have high expectations. In the meanwhile, when we are not here, Sarah, you are going to be away too. So some of our musicians will be here, some no. Gabby will be here. She will be back. Gabby is going also next week, and we wish you a wonderful trip. She's going to Abba Nashira, which is a seminar for some leaders. Jacob is going to be there as well. Your Jacob is going to be there. So as I told the two of them that I wanted to be there. I will be in Israel, but that otherwise I would be participating in Abba Nashira. It's a wonderful seminar, so we hope that you learn a lot, and then you come back and you share all what you learned. And our program, our Gesher program, is enrolling for the summer program and from the next year. Are you familiar with Gesher? Say no. No. So Gesher program is a very, very important program that we have here at TBT. We try to promise. Who is that kid? Okay. So we know that most children in North Orange County don't have the opportunity to access to high-quality Jewish education, and we know that we are their option. We are the possibility to learn Judaism. So we do our West in our Havaya school every Saturday, but for children between the ages of 5 years old to 7 years old, and maybe next year 8 years old, we have everyday Gesher program in which our children learn Judaism and Hebrew here every day in the shul. We have a van, we pick them up from school, we give them snacks, they do homework here, and they grow up in the shul. They grow up in the shul. So it's one of the most important programs that we have, and it's really, really a game changer. So if you have grandchildren, cousins, or whoever that you know that doesn't know about this program, make sure that they know. Make sure that they know. Last, and very important, where is Max? So we want to encourage you to do two things. You want to talk or you want me to talk? So why don't we say that people can approach, you will approach people to join you during, so I press, fast.
We did a real good job last week. We really signed up a lot of people. We still have 23 spots available, and most of them are on the 4th of July. In 2015, we did probably $45,000 worth of business on the 4th of July. So it's very important that we get as many people as possible on the board. Also, an area where I really need help, if there's groups that are having parties and the parties are going to end maybe a little earlier, I have 3 overnights, I have nobody. And without anybody guarding the stand, we may not have a stand. So anybody who, if you're having a group party or whatever you're having, if you can
So
have 10:30,
they can continue the party on the stand. They can continue the party on the stand, and so Max will be here during the dinner, and he will be approaching people. So if you have the opportunity to volunteer and to join us, it is important, and we need your help. We want to encourage you to do 2 important things. Number 1, volunteer. Number 2, if you want to make a donation in honor of Max Lee, that on all the hard work that he's doing, he's every day, all day here working on this. We encourage you to do that too. So I think that's it. We will conclude our Shabbat service, and then we will move forward into Shabbat dinner. Oh my God. So we have here at TBT the custom of standing up at the end and making sure that we are close to each other. So if you feel comfortable doing that, please join us. In this wonderful opportunity of being together. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
May we have the wisdom to embrace the desert and to empty ourselves in order to be able to receive Torah in our lives and to be inspired. May we have the wisdom to meet each other in peace. Adonai os le'amo iten, Adonai yevarech et amo b'shalom, Shabbat shalom. הנה
מה טוב ומה נעים,